A term is one of three things. It could be a number, it could be a variable, or it could be the product of a number and a variable. For example, in the expression 5 plus x plus 2x, 5 is a term because it's a number. X is a term because it's a variable. And 2x is a term because it's the product of a number and a variable. So remember that the product is shown when two things are touching in math and there's no symbol in between. So 2x next to each other like that means product, which means multiply. But those are three different terms in this expression. So this expression has three terms. Like terms are terms that have the same variable or no variable at all. So for example, 2x and 3x are like terms. 2x, let's see if I can make a exponent here. 2x, there we go. 2x squared and 3x squared are like terms because they have the same variable. They both have an x squared. But 2x and 2x squared are not like terms because they do not have the same exact variable to the same exact exponent. So just because they have an x doesn't make them like terms. They would either both have to have just x or x squared to be like terms. Combining and simplifying mean the same thing when you're talking about like terms, and that is where you add the like terms together. So for example, in the expression 3y plus 2x plus 5y plus 4x, if we were to combine the like terms, we would be looking, for the things that have the same variable. Let's make this last one a y. So we would have 3y plus 4y, and that would give us 7y. And then we would add 2x plus 5x, because those are like terms. They both have an x, and that would give us 7x. 7x and 7y are not like terms, so that's our final answer. Finally, subtracting and negatives isn't really a vocabulary word that you need to know, but it is a process that you need to know how to do. So when you see a subtraction sign, what you're going to do is change all subtraction signs to adding the opposite. In Unit 1, if you'll remember, we called that top chicken. So here's an example of that. If you saw 4x minus 3y plus 3x minus 7y, okay, every time you saw a minus sign, you would change it to adding a negative 2. Okay, so there's a minus sign over here. We're going to change that to plus negative 7x. So now when you add the like terms, you know that the 2y is negative and the 7y is negative. So if you were to actually combine that, or sorry, the 7x. So if you were to actually combine those like terms, 4x plus 3x plus negative 7x would actually be 0x. And if it's 0x, you don't actually need to write that. It just goes away, essentially. So the negative 2y does not have another like term. So that just becomes our answer, negative 2y.